Take over. Sophomore Marcus Howard is a terrific defender and a future star in the Valley. Kurt Kanaski's Drake team is picked for 8th in the league, but the Bulldogs appear poised to silence their doubters. They're led by the Valley's deadliest shooter. Luke McDonald was the league's freshman of the year. It's Indiana State and Drake from Des Moines next. Center in Des Moines, Iowa, State Farm proudly presents the Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week. It's the Indiana State Sycamores and the Drake Bulldogs. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us for another great year of Missouri Valley Conference basketball. I'm John Walters, and we're glad to have Chris Piper along this year, who played on Kansas's national championship team. And Chris, you're going to get to see some great basketball in the Valley.
We're really looking forward to it. You know what, Kansas had an opportunity to play against a bunch of Valley teams. A couple things you can always expect from them: great coaching and great, tough, physical players who knew how to play basketball. Nothing's changed yet.
A good example of that is Indiana State, which made that run to win the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament Championship last year with outside shooting. But this year, Chris, they go inside more.
You need the presence inside of Jabril Conte. This guy at 6'9", really a combination of strength and power, can take the ball to the basket. A big presence inside gives them an opportunity to make something happen in the interior. You're really going to need his presence. You look at him, his numbers, 19 points against Murray State. Going to need that presence. Royce Waldman, Indiana State, gone with more of a 4-guard lineup here this afternoon against Drake. For the Bulldogs, Luke McDonald, really probably the premier scorer in this league. He can shoot the ball from the outside, 46% last year from the three-point line. But this year, able to put the ball down on the floor, create other opportunities for him to get to the basket. You know, against a score like that, Indiana State going to try and deny him the ball, not have him get looks at the basket.
And Marcus Howard will get that defensive assignment for the Sycamores awfully early in December to play a conference opener, but both teams appear poised and ready to go. Indiana State has won 2 in a row, and Drake's coming off its best performance earlier this week. Indiana State and Drake starting lineups next.
I'm the State Farm agent here in Montpelier. For a one-stoplight town, we do get our share of accidents. When somebody has an accident, it's unsettling enough. The last thing they want to deal with is calling 1-800 and put in your 12-digit number. That's not very personal.
Over 16,000 State Farm agents.
Our rates for car insurance are very competitive.
It's no accident. They insure more cars than anyone else.
This is my town. Hi, Jasmine.
How you doing? How you doing?
Hello.
These guys took care of that thing, right?
Hey, Mikey, we take care of that thing? Hey, Nicky, you took care of that thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Come on, please. Hey, did you take care of that thing yet?
Oh. Yeah.
You took care of that thing, right?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Steer there? Yeah.
You took care of that thing, right?
Jerry?
It's not just about saving money. It's about spending time, just dropping by and creating bonds rather than simply buying them. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
Sometimes life's not fair, but you can make it equal with great taste and 0 calories. Sometimes life's not fair, but you can make it equal with great taste and 0 calories.
The Missouri Valley Game of the Week is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. By Edward Jones, more than 130 years of experience helping individuals build financial security. And by Ralston Purina Company of Checkerboard Square. Indiana State has won 8 of its last 10 against Drake, but last year the two teams split, with Drake winning here in Des Moines. Let's take a look at Royce Waltman, the head coach of Indiana State. He's taken his team to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. He was the Valley's Coach of the Year in '99-2000. And Bud Light presents the starting lineups. First of all, for Indiana State, Conte and Matt Browerman up front. So Royce Waltman will go with a smaller lineup today. And a three-guard attack with Keelan Block, Matt Berry, and Marcus Howard, terrific sophomores. And for Drake, the starting lineup looks like this. Inside, Greg Danielson had 17 rebounds in his last game. He joins J.J. Sola, a newcomer, and Aaron Knight, a senior. And the backcourt, Luke McDonald and Northwestern transfer David Newman. And Drake is coached by Kurt Kanaski, now in his 6th year on the job. He was the runner-up for Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year last year to Dana Altman of Creighton. Well, Chris, Kurt Kanaski says that this Indiana State team is very well coached, do a great job defensively, and his team has to be patient on offense and look for good shots, and then do a good job on the other end against Indiana State when they have the ball.
Well, you know, the thing about Drake, when you talk about the Bulldogs, you know that they can score. There's no question about that. Really, the question when Drake steps on the floor is whether or not they can stop the other team. But that kind of fits in well for Kanaski and Drake, because Indiana State has struggled so far this year shooting the ball, really shooting a poor percentage from the floor, 39%. So, you know, maybe that'll go hand in hand, but Royce Waltman, on the other hand, feels like they might have turned the corner. Last couple games started to pick it up on their defensive end.
Well, and they started to break out with the shooting a little bit, too. They hit 14 in their first 18 shots in that win over Murray State earlier this week. So maybe they've turned that corner and started to hit some shots, and that'll get everything going for Indiana State. Greg Danielson will jump for Drake. It'll be Jabril Conte to jump for Indiana State. And the Sycamores control.
Well, let's watch Indiana State on the offensive end. You know, the big change here is taking Avery out of the lineup and putting Browerman in. He's at 6'5", but he's really a guard. He really doesn't take any shots inside. All his shots are going to come from beyond the three-point line. So let's see if Indiana State can get something going offensively.
And what do you know? They knocked down a 3 to start the game. Keelan Block, a preseason All-Missouri Valley Conference pick.
Well, that's what Royce Waltman's looking for. A little more movement offensively, make him a little tougher to guard on the perimeter. You've got the big inside presence of Conte inside, so hopefully they can do that. But the real test is going to be on the defensive end, whether they're able to guard the size inside that Drake has and also be effective on the boards.
Danielson can't go anywhere with it. Kick out to Newman for 3. David Newman, who has shot it better of late, knocks down a 3 for Drake.
Nice movement on the weak side by David Newman. Good defense, really tied up Danielson, but a nice look to the opposite side. Watch Drake offensively on the weak side. Great movement away from the ball.
Perry misses a 3. Newman rebounds for Drake. Tie game in the early going. Here's Luke McDonald with his first shot.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, he is just so fast with that shot. No question in his mind. Got set, had the ball delivered to him, and he was up with it immediately.
Luke McDonald has hit a three-pointer in every game of his Drake career. 34 consecutive games with a three-pointer for Luke McDonald. This is Block again. It's a three-point shooting contest and really going. Newman the rebound for Drake. Both teams settling for the outside shot early on, which is kind of a surprise in the case of Indiana State. Berry knocked that ball loose momentarily. We expect Drake to go with the perimeter jumper. This is Greg Danielson at the free throw line. He'll fire. And Drake off to a good start on the offensive end.
A little soft defensively by Indiana State that time. Gave Danielson the open jumper from the top, and Danielson can hit that. Just nothing more than a free throw, shooting over 56%. You know, the thing that Indiana State has to do is they've got to be able to buckle down on the defensive end. That has always been the mark of a Royce Waltman team, and obviously a wide open jumper like that is not what they want to do.
Inside to Conte. Good defensive work by Danielson. Newman comes up with another rebound. Drake with an 8-3 lead in the early going. The Bulldogs trying to win their conference opener here on their home floor. Expectations are not high, particularly for this Drake team. Picked for 8th, but within the circles of the Drake basketball family, Kurt Kanaski feels they've got a great chance to have a good season. He said he'll be disappointed if his team is in position to contend for postseason play. This is Aaron Knight with a free throw line jumper. And that rattles in. 4 different Bulldogs have scored.
Got great patience that time offensively by Drake. A great matchup on the Drake end is Luke McDonald against Marcus Howard. Howard really not giving him some good looks, and Drake being patient. You know, you don't have to create something quick. Found the wide open jumper again at the free throw line.
Block on a strong drive to the hoop, drew a foul. Keelan Block out of Kansas City, Kansas. Earns a trip to the free throw line, I believe, unless that was before the shot. No, they won't be in free throws.
Well, he's so athletic, able to put the ball on the floor. You know, hitting that outside shot really opens up things for him, shooting 40%. You look at his numbers there. 9th in Missouri Valley in assist, and that's really the part of his game that he has picked up this year. But this Indiana State team is looking for something to happen on the offensive end. Obviously, you lose Michael Minzer, who ran that team for a lot of years. You're going to have to find somebody that can fill in the spot. Marcus Howard, although he has moved to the point guard spot, he's really not a true point. So Keelan Block doing a little bit more as far as passing the ball, trying to get other guys involved.
Leads this team in assists. Inside, Danielson takes it in on Conte and draws a foul. So Greg Danielson attacking the basket. And there's Michael Menser, who you just were talking about a minute ago, Chris. Great career he had at Indiana State.
Well, he was everything for him, wasn't he? He just did all the little things for him. Scored, passed the ball, did everything, led that team. Now sitting on the sidelines doing what we do, which is really a little bit of nothing, isn't it? Getting paid for it. That's a heck of a deal. He's smarter than us. He got right into it.
Yep. Danielson knocks down the free throw, and Greg Danielson putting up some nice numbers in his senior season, second in the Valley in rebounding. Missed the second one, but Aaron Knight tips it loose and Conte controls. Right now, Drake leading at 11-5 and really going.
You can see what Indiana State can get. Good movement, swinging the ball side to side.
And Barry missed another three-point attempt. He's really struggled shooting the basketball. Here comes Newman. Danielson will shoot a three. This Drake team showing its ability to shoot. We talked about it in the open. And when everybody's lighting it up, they've got a lot of different weapons on the floor that can beat you.
Tell you what, it's going to be a long day for Indiana State. Greg Danielson stepping out and hitting three-pointers. He's only had 2 attempts on the season. Now he's 1 for 2, but he's getting some looks and he's hitting.
Well, this is a microcosm of Indiana State's season, struggling to shoot the ball. At the other end, McDonald for 3. Long rebound controlled by Grimes, the freshman. Lamar Grimes out of Chicago. Seeing a lot of minutes at the point guard spot. Same with the basketball. Indiana State's last field goal came at the 1930 mark. And they change all that with the Howard jumper.
You know, one of the things Indiana State does so well, both these teams, though, do offensively, they just move the ball around the perimeter, looking, swinging from side to side, but Drake is going to lay off. They're not going to get up in your face defensively. Indiana State's got to step up and hit that shot.
Well, Greg Danielson showing some versatility, steps out to the three-point line to help Drake build an early 7-point lead.
Hey, Hallie Eisenberg drinking a Pepsi.
Actually, this isn't a Pepsi. It's new Pepsi Twist with lemon. And I'm not Hallie Eisenberg.
I'm Halle Berry.
Drinking Pepsi Twist.
Well, it's not exactly Pepsi Twist. It's Diet Pepsi Twist. And I'm not exactly Halle Berry.
You know?
I'm Barry Bostwick.
Who is Barry Bostwick?
Like twists? Try new Pepsi Twist in regular and diet. A lemon twist on that great Pepsi taste.
Become a big brother or big sister today.
In you.
Go dashing to the phone for a half-off carpet sale with samples in your home.
It's like a fairy tale.
New carpet that's installed by the holiday.
Interest-free for 12 whole months before you have to pay.
O-E-M-P-I-R-E and parts on the way. You can save a half on carpet if you call today.
50% off carpet installed in time for Christmas. Guaranteed.
Deck your floor with brand new carpet. Just dial 1-800. Get a free gift with your carpet.
58823 ho-ho.
each team's strengths and weaknesses.
I think when people see our team play, the first thing that's going to jump out at them is we can really shoot. And we'll be one of the better shooting teams in the country from a lot of different positions. The question is, can we guard anyone? You know, can we make stops? Can we get rebounds? If we can do those two things, then we have a great chance of having a winning season.
Well, Kirk Kanaski himself was a great shooter at LaSalle, one of the great free throw shooters in NCAA history, and maybe this team mirrors him a little bit.
Well, there's no question they can put some points on the board. Really, it's the defensive end, and they play pretty much a slacking type of defense. Neither team right now has created a turnover, so neither team really forcing the issue on the defensive end. They're just really waiting for the offense to make the mistake.
Terrence Avery is into the Indiana State lineup, big number 31. He's the leading scorer and rebounder for Indiana State, and yet he comes off the bench in this afternoon's game. This is Grimes, the freshman, on a kick out to Marcus Howard. Wide open from the corner is Barry, and he knocked that one down.
Nice penetration there, and that's what Royce Weltman's looking for, a little more slashing style offensively. With the substitution of Avery, they still go with the 4 guards and the 1 big man. They set down contact.
Knight drew contact from Avery. Aaron Knight. Avery picks up his first foul.
Take a look at Aaron Knight on the wing, just overplayed defensively. Good recognition, try and take it baseline, and Keelan block beat. Avery late on the help on the weak side defense. Something you don't see often with an Indiana State team. Generally, drive to the basket, you're going to draw a crowd quickly. But Indiana State late that time on the weak side help.
Knight missed the free throw. And there's Lonnie Randolph, a freshman for Drake, that they really like. The backup point guard who's second in the Valley in assists, coming off the bench.
Here we go. Everybody use your legs straight.
Aaron Knight had a couple of knee surgeries that he slowly bounced back from. Limited minutes last year. He's in a starting role this season. Missed the free throws, though. And here comes Indiana State, trailing by just 4 now. Rohrman, a good outside shooter. Drake showing some zone. Three-pointer by Barry is off the mark. Well, Barry keeps putting him up there, Chris. He's 1 of 4 from three-point range in the early going.
Thank you.
Get your tickets now for the 2002 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament, March 1st through 4th. 2 games Friday, 4 Saturday, the semi-Sunday, the finals Monday night at Savas Center in St. Louis. Don't miss a minute of the 2002 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Tournament, March 1st through 4th. It's Arch Madness. There's Knight for 3, and the rebound on the weak side to Barry.
Boy, tough shot by Knight that time. Had defense hand right in the face. Probably not the shot that they wanted in that situation.
Barry runs through a cut and catches it on the right wing. Rohrman swings it around to Marcus Howard. Down low they go to Avery, and he banks it too hard. Battle for that rebound. Andre Sola, who missed about a week with a sprained ankle, comes down to the rebound.
Luke McDonald is just about to say hadn't had any looks at it, but he found a way that time, set up the pick. Missed the shot.
So Drake has gone cold after a hot start from the floor. And Indiana State crawling back into it, trailing by just 4.
Watch how well Indiana State spreads the floor offensively. Really keeps great spacing, keeps the lane wide open for cuts. Need to get penetration against this Drake defense.
Barry will try another 3. And the weak side rebound to McDonald. Well, it's not for a lack of trying, but Barry has not been able to get those shots to fall. And Drake really defensively, Chris, backing off on Barry and Howard on the outside. Good pass from Danielson, and Knight the finish.
A great ball movement that time. Love to see the big man kick it off. He had the wide open free throw, but always take the layup if you can get it. Nice ball movement that time by Drake. But you're exactly right, John. One of the things that Drake's going to do, they're going to allow certain people to get shots against their defense.
Howard misses a 3, and Indiana State pretty quick to settle for the 3-point shot in the early going.
Before the game, asked Royce Weltman about his offense, and all I got was silence. He said it was going to be a quick quote. He really didn't have anything to say right now about the offensive end. They're just really struggling. But I'll tell you what, it takes some time to get your offense back in the swing of things. After you lose somebody, you're going to keep hearing Michael Minzer's name. But really, this is a guy that he led that team for so many years. All of a sudden, you got to throw new guys in. They're still trying to find out what they're all about on the offensive end.
Well, you said his team's probably playing a little bit too tight, too. He said that these guys are so conscientious of trying to play perfect basketball that they're not playing loose enough. Down low, Conte walked with it, and on the turnover, Drake will have it.
Well, Conte drew a crowd inside there. You know, Drake's doing a nice job defensively inside. They're just making Indiana State make mistakes. Trying to let Indiana State go ahead and try and beat them, and so far Indiana State has not shown the ability to do that. Like Gamble.
This is J.J. Sola. Junior college transfer, loves to go to his left, which he does here and misses. And the rebound controlled by Drake. It's T.J. Welton on the follow. So Welton off the bench, that's what he does best, is hit the offensive boards. And Drake has an 8-point lead.
Well, you know, the boards was something that Indiana State was concerned about, going with the 4 guards, but right now they got the 2 big men on the floor together, Avery and Conte. Definitely not a situation where they want to give up an offensive board with the 2 big men on the floor together.
Avery caught it real low that time, and J.J. Sola fouled him. If Avery can catch it in that position, he's going to score probably 9 times out of 10.
Well, you know, when the outside jumper's not falling, you got to go back to the inside game, and that's why Royce Waltman went back with his 2 big men. Matt Berry missing a lot of threes from the outside. The perimeter shots weren't falling, so decided to scrap that idea, get the 2 big men back inside, see if they can establish something, throwing the ball inside, try and get something working offensively.
Avery, the leading scorer for Indiana State, averaging just under 13 a game, had a 29-point, 12-rebound outburst against Eastern Illinois. And 11 of those 12 rebounds came on the offensive end in that game.
Well, no real surprise, his minutes this year, all bench team last year for the Valley.
Well, Avery hits 1 of 2, but right now it's Drake out in front, 18-11.
If you enjoy Branson's world-class entertainment, then you'll love Branson's world-class resort, Chateau on the Lake. On a majestic mountaintop overlooking Table Rock Lake, you'll find a grand hotel in the European tradition. The service is impeccable. The surroundings elegant. It's pure luxury all the way. It's what you deserve. Come experience Chateau on the Lake, Branson's only world-class resort. Call 1-888-333-LAKE for reservations.
Oh, you want this now, huh? Yeah. You want this? Go get it! It's got to be the dog chow.
Purina knows there's no limit to what your dog can do. That's why Dog Chow is packed with everything he needs to build and rejuvenate strong muscles, so he can keep on amazing you day after day. Incredible dog food, incredible dogs. Purina Dog Chow brand.
Innovation in action. That's what you get with residue-proven soybeans from Asgrow. They're proven to perform in reduced tillage systems with strong early emergence, tough disease resistance, and higher yield potential. Unleash the most profitable soybean system on your acres. The economic benefits of reduced till and residue-proven varieties. Only from your Asgrow dealer. Ask for the yellow arrow and turn this discovery into your profit.
Backed by Roundup Rewards.
Now the Christmas spirit already in place here in Des Moines, and the Drake Bulldogs with a 7-point lead over Indiana State in the early going. Today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete is Indiana State's Keelan Block, a senior from Kansas City, Kansas. Block was a first-team Missouri Valley Scholar Athlete selection in 2001. Block carries a 3.0 grade point average in mechanical technology. Academics are important to the Missouri Valley Conference, so let's salute Keelan Block, today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete.
Well, let's look and see what Indiana State does on the offensive end of the floor. First 8.5 minutes of this game, 8 of their 12 shots coming from the three-point line. Let's see if they'll start trying to establish something on the inside now that they haven't been successful getting those threes.
You see Marcus Howard defending Luke McDonald. Chris mentioned it earlier. Good matchup to watch throughout the afternoon. Howard got the block, but he also got part of the arm, so he commits the person to foul, and McDonald will go to the free throw line.
Well, Marcus Howard, a guy that Royce Waltman calls probably the best defender in the Missouri Valley. Nice little shoulder fake there, just a little jiggle there by Luke McDonald. Got Marcus Howard on his heels, able to get just enough space. I tell you what, it doesn't take Luke McDonald a whole lot of space to be able to get the shot off, and you just got to stay right down on him. Marcus Howard says that best way he knows to defend a shooter is not allow him to touch the ball. Can't score if you don't have the ball in his hands. And that time McDonald got the ball in his hands.
McDonald hits 88% from the free throw line. Missed the second of 2. So 4 points in the early going for Luke McDonald. And Drake has an 8-point advantage as we approach the 11-minute mark remaining in the first half. Howard against McDonald on this end. Howard will try a jumper over McDonald. And the rebound to Terrence Avery. So Indiana State getting a second chance. And a foul called on Andre Sola.
Andre Sola really doing a nice job inside, trying to front Conte on the block, trying to fight over the top. Good physical battle between those big guys inside. Conte, the kind of guy that he gets the ball, he's going to score inside. Andre Sola knows that, really trying to front him in the post.
This is Matt Berry. McDonald now matched up with him. This is Howard trying another 3, and he got it. Marcus Howard with his first 3.
You know, the difference for that shot there, John, is good ball movement by Indiana State. Looking inside, you pass it around, you finally don't get it, then shoot the 3. It's going to be a little easier. The defense is going to be soft.
Sola tried to spin in, ball knocked loose. Lonnie Randolph recovers for Drake. Good kick out to Andre Sola. He'll drive pass to JJ for the layup. And a foul. These two are not related, but Andre Sola sets up JJ Sola for the hoop.
Watch the battle inside. Sola and Sola connection coming up here. Nice look by Andre, taking it to the basket, draws the defense, just kicks it off there, bringing him over. And nice finish by JJ Sola. And JJ Sola's reaction after that was to run after Andre Sola, tell him nice pass. He was fired up about that.
Sola missed the free throw, but Danielson rebounds for Drake. Now Danielson works in with the left hand. And he's off to a good start today. 8 early points for Greg Danielson. And Drake has a 9-point lead.
Little jump zone defense. Asked Kurt Kanaski what kind of zone he's going to play, and he said, you watch and tell me. They're not very good at zone, but there's another 3.
Well, they won't be in it for long if Barry keeps knocking down shots like that one. Sola loves to put it on the floor. No basket, I believe. It is waved off. Well, it's the new show everyone's been talking about, the Best Damn Sports Show, period. It's the new nightly show that features a comedian who's a diehard sports fan, a bunch of ex-jocks who really know the game. Critics are calling it a collision of sports and comedy, and just what we've been waiting for. Introducing the Best Damn Sports Show, period, weeknights at 7:30 Central on Fox Sports Net. Rejection that time by Terrence Avery. JJ Sola backs up and hits a 3.
He's persistent. He doesn't care. You can block his shot 5 times, he'll still keep coming at you.
Well, you can tell from the hair that J.J. Sola has a carefree attitude on the floor. California kid. There's a 5-second call. Good defensive work by the freshman, Lonnie Randolph. Go back to a moment ago.
Laser Wildman gets the 3 off the offensive board. Just straight-legged 3, no hesitation. Didn't really look like any effort in it at all, but I tell you what, he plays hard.
He's a character, and he's got the tattoos, he's got the socks pulled up all the way to the knees, he's got the hair, the goatee.
He's got it all.
Pretty much the look you had at Kansas.
Yeah,
Chris.
definitely.
Down low, Danielson. Good look to Sola, and with the left hand, he finishes again. He's really given this Drake team another presence inside.
You know, making great cuts to the basket, though. That's the thing. He's putting himself in a position to score. He's not just standing around watching guys. When the ball's in somebody else's hands, he's making cuts to the basket, creating an opportunity for himself to get the ball.
It's an 11-point lead for Drake. This is block on a jump shot. In and out. Rebound Avery. Back up and in. Good work by Terrence Avery.
Well, Indiana State really needs that right now. Struggling offensively, really playing 1-on-5 basketball. They're needing the big guys to create something inside, get some easy buckets off the offensive glass.
Sola again with the left hand. Block the rebound. Quickly up the floor. This is Matt Berry exploding to the hoop. Missed the shot. And the rebound to Aaron Knight. Down low they go. J.J. Sola again missing. Got it back. And drew a foul. He was persistent. We are at the Knapp Center in Des Moines, Iowa. State Farm, Missouri Valley Conference game of the week between Indiana State and Drake. John Walters and Chris Piper, glad you could join us this afternoon. J.J. Sola will shoot. Early on, the Bulldogs playing well, Chris.
Did a great job out on the offensive end. Indiana State has not been able to hit a shot against the Drake defense, but this guy here, J.J. Sola, well traveled. Loyola Marymount to start, Fullerton Junior College then coming here, but he has been Mr. Energy on the floor for Drake, just involved on every play down the floor.
You can see the numbers in the last 3 games, 71%. And in those games, Sola had 20 points, 14 points, and 16 points to lead Drake. Timeout on the floor right now before Sola shoots the second free throw. It's a 30-second timeout called by Royce Waltman. Well, let's take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference standings, brought to you by Edward Jones. More than 130 years of experience helping individuals build financial security. Edward Jones. And the real surprise is right at the top, Northern Iowa, which had that big league opening victory over Bradley last night.
Well, and also the huge win against Iowa. Northern Iowa not picked very high, obviously, in the Missouri Valley Conference standings at the beginning of the season, but they have got it going right now for them.
And Southern Illinois has had some very, very nice victories and played Illinois right down to the wire in their only loss. Well, Arch Madness is one of the great conference tournaments in all of college basketball. St. Louis this year, March 1st through 4th. You will enjoy it if you get down to St. Louis. You know he'll be there and he'll bring the hair with him. Sola now into double figures with 10. And Drake has opened up its biggest lead at 11 points.
Little trap by Drake.
Open is Howard for 3. They just can't get him to fall, Chris. You're right, they're getting good looks. Newman the other way on a quick push to Aaron Knight.
You know, what happens is Drake right now feels like they can do really anything defensively that they want. Ran a trap right there where they knew if they got beat, they were going to give up an open jumper, but until Indiana State shows that they can hit it, Drake's going to continue to play the same defensive style.
Foul on the block called on Matt Berry. And it'll be a 1-and-1 coming for Greg Danielson. Oh, you're right, Chris. When you're setting up defensively and you know that the outside shot is the least of your concerns, it really gives you some advantages, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Indiana State's, they've got to try and establish something inside, get Conte and Avery going, at least get a touch on the ball. If they can throw the ball inside, maybe that defense will collapse and step in a step or two, get a few jumpers going, and then if you get back on the streak, then you can step out beyond that three-point line. But Indiana State on the offensive end has struggled so far this year, but got to also figure out a way to stop Drake on the defensive end.
Greg Danielson now into double figures with 10 points. Same with J.J. Sola, and Drake has opened up a 13-point lead.
Come on, Joey, let's have some of Grandma's old recipe ice cream.
Wow, it sure looks good.
It is, Joey. There's a whole world of wonderful flavors in her old recipe ice cream. It starts with fresh cream and cane sugar, then in go all kinds of other great tasting treats.
Gosh, did Grandma make it herself?
Of course not, Joey. She goes to the store and buys it like everybody else.
Taste the premium quality of old recipe ice cream from Prairie Farms.
At some point in the evening, you may discover when the wee hours actually begin. Explore St. Louis. There's more than meets the arch. Call 1-800-888-FUN-1.
How do you see our world? From a passing car or an airline seat? From your own piece of the earth? And how about your children? What kind of world will they see in the future? At Phillips 66, we believe there is no better way to see America than by car. One of our newest ideas lowers the sulfur content of gasoline. It's all part of protecting the planet. Something to think about the next time you need fuel.
Proof again that Phillips 66 is the performance company.
7:31 to go in the first half, and Drake has opened up its biggest lead at 13 points over Indiana State. And Kirk Kanaski said, Chris, that his team can shoot the ball.
Well, they can shoot it. Got a lot of threats from the outside. A nice pass to the cross court to David Newman on the transition as well. Luke McDonald spotting up, hitting the three. And then you know things are going good for you when Greg Danielson able to hit the three, and then J.J. Sola gets a shot thrown back. and hits a 3 as well. So everything going right for Drake, hitting the shot when they have it from the outside. On the other hand, the Indiana State, you see, struggling 4 for 11 from the three-point line.
I'm surprised they've taken that many threes. This is a reverse layup attempt by Block. It wouldn't fall, and Newman able to track down the loose ball. Marcus Howard has the defensive assignment on Luke McDonald. They try to run McDonald through some screens. This is Newman open for 3. Missed it badly, and Avery the rebound. Important for Indiana State now to be patient and not try to get this lead back all at once.
Good patience and good ball movement. Get Indiana State a good look at the basket. Then tell you what, you can be the greatest coach in the world, but if your players don't hit shots, there's nothing you can do about it.
This is Lamar Grimes, the freshman. He'll try a jump shot. And he tracked down his own rebound. Good hustle. Open is Marcus Howard for 3, and he continues to struggle.
And there's a lot of clanging going on down there.
Yeah, Howard just 17% on the season from 3-point range. Danielson with a pump fake. In on Avery. Tough move. Got the basket. He'll go for a 3-point play. Danielson showing some versatility in this game.
How about the big fella? He's showing the whole package. Had the 3 earlier. Now a nice little spin move. Comes right back to the right. Switches back to the left hand. Draws the contact. And the chance for the 3-point play. Greg Danielson, 6'9" junior. Didn't have to go very far to play college basketball here from Des Moines.
He also got 3 assists in this game as he approaches his career high of 5. So Danielson getting a lot done and coming off this really his best effort. 16 points, 17 rebounds against Arkansas Pine Bluff.
You know, Drake just really doing about anything that they want to against this Indiana State defense. And when you pride yourself on being a great defensive team, one of the things that you try to do is take the other team out of their offense. Indiana State has not had any success here in the first half against Drake.
Inside out they go. Now Grimes has it. Grimes backs up and shoots a 3 and knocks it down. That's a big shot for Indiana State. Well, the best looks Indiana State is getting are from the 3-point line. They haven't made them all, but those are the best opportunities they've had. Danielson missing, follows his own shot. Good look to David Bancroft, the freshman. And Danielson tried to tip. Now Avery lost it, and Bancroft's up with it. Conte is hurt. Right, correction on that. It was Grimes, the freshman, that went down. This is Luke McDonald for 3. Second of the game for McDonald, and Drake is pulling away. Grimes back up, appears to be okay, but I think he went down face first onto the floor.
Give an assist to the Drake Bigman for that bucket for Luke McDonald, just battling inside there, trying to keep a loose ball.
Conte drew the contact from Danielson. He'll go to the free throw line.
You know, it's amazing, all the contact on the other end. You don't get a foul, and then you get a little push by Danielson. Grimes on the floor allows somebody to be open, and unfortunately for Indiana State, it happens to be Luke McDonald. Don't allow him any room because he's going to get it. And also the pick up top set up Luke McDonald for that shot.
Jabril Conte hits the free throw. That's his first point. He comes off a 19-point effort against Murray State, but he's hardly touched the ball in the early part of this game, Chris.
A lot of shots from the outside, taking Drake's defense off the hook. Got to get the ball inside to the big men. Let him do some work. If nothing else, let him just touch it, sag that defense in, and then kick it back out for the open shot on the outside.
Conte missed the second free throw. J.J. Solo the rebound. The lead is 15 for Drake. 4:40 to go in our first half. Missouri Valley Conference opener for both teams. Off a screen, McDonald, and Howard quickly recovers to catch up to him.
Marcus Howard just face guarding Luke McDonald all over the floor. He's not worried about helping out any other player. All he wants to do is deny the ball from getting in Luke McDonald's hands.
And Drake tried to get it inside to Aaron Knight, and he was fouled by Grimes.
Two
free throws coming for Drake.
You know, John, one of the things about great players is that they accept what's going on the floor. Luke McDonald's being face guarded by Marcus Howard, not able to get any shots, and he's had 3 or 4 shots in the game. Other players that are scorers are going to start getting frustrated and try and make themselves get open shots. But Luke McDonald realizes that there's other things he can do, and he's doing it. He's just playing within the framework, letting other Drake players step up, and he's taking his shots when he gets them. That really shows great maturity on the sophomore's part, just to accept what's going on the floor and do the other things.
Well, he said heading into this season that it's nice to have some other weapons around him on the floor for Drake, and teams cannot concentrate as much on just stopping him and then knowing that they beat Drake.
Well, one of the things is he's also doing a lot of movement on the floor, and that takes away weak side help. His defender is not helping out on anybody else, and if you break down anybody else on the Indiana State team, it gives you an opportunity to have an advantage on the offensive end.
Howard, good pass to Avery. That'll work, getting the ball inside.
And that's what they need, a little dribble penetration, break the defense down, draw them over to you. And it's tough to have a bad shooting percentage when you're dunking the ball.
McDonald against Howard. Boy, they're really chasing him through those screens, but now Howard is on Knight. This is J.J. Sola going by Avery, and Avery got the block. Quickly the other way. Open jumper for Berry. Shot it long, and the rebound to Knight. Too quick to pull the trigger, maybe.
And Matt Berry needs to work inside a little bit, try and get a layup or something, get himself off this cold spell that he's got working.
J.J. Sola missed the 3, but then Indiana State threw the ball away. Well, Royce Waltman a bit frustrated, but he did get the dunk out of Terrence Avery a moment ago. But right now, his team has its work cut out, trailing by 15.
The Missouri Valley Conference celebrates athletic excellence, bringing you non-stop red-hot collegiate basketball. There's another team in town that we're privileged to support, the Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. The Cancer Center provides state-of-the-art technology, a child-friendly environment, and compassionate care to children who are diagnosed with cancer and other blood disorders. The Missouri Valley Conference and the Bob Costas Cancer Center. We're here for the kids. Give us a hand.
How can VHIX.com help you decide on what vehicle to buy? With smart, thorough, unbiased, up-to-date research. And if you're trying to decide between a couple of different vehicles, at VHIX.com, you can compare them. Side by side, head to head, feature by feature, option by option, dollar for dollar. Try the side-by-side comparison at VHIX.com. It's your roadmap to the automotive world.
Your home is the canvas. You're the artist. Century Tile has your art supplies. Our staff are your teachers. The result is a masterpiece. Come to Century Tile and choose from over 10,000 styles and patterns of flooring at Chicagoland's lowest prices. If you're thinking of tile, think Century Tile.
See Century for Domco luxury vinyl flooring. Domco combines the look of stone, marble, and quarry tile with the durability and easy care of vinyl tile. See Domco at Century Tile.
Well, you can hardly stand the noise. This Drake team is up by 15 on Indiana State with 3:17 to go. Time now for the great equalizer, brought to you by Equal Sweetener. And look at the points in the paint. Drake with 21, led by J.J. Sola, and Indiana State with 7. Pretty much the opposite of what we expected, Chris.
Well, J.J. Sola with 6 of those 21 points. That's a nice job that he has done in there, but you're exactly right. Drake has been able to have a nice mixture both inside and outside game. Royce Waltman early made the decision he's going to go with the 4-guard lineup, one big man inside, try and get something going offensively, but Drake has really been successful getting the ball inside.
And they do it again. J.J. Sola in on Avery. And the ball knocked loose. It's out of bounds to the Sycamores. Well, we talked about one of the reasons Drake's able to get the ball inside, and that's because so much attention is being paid to Luke McDonald on the perimeter. Down at this end, Indiana State trying to get it going. Marcus Howard will try a jump shot, and he got it. That's a 2. Third bucket of the game for Marcus Howard. He has 7 points for Indiana State. Randolph spins in. Sola for 3. Andre Sola the miss, and the rebound to Terrence Avery. Open again is Howard. And that's 2 in a row from Marcus Howard. And a quick timeout called by Kurt Kanaski, a 30.
30-second timeout.
Marcus Howard with back-to-back buckets. Maybe Indiana State has found that offensive threat they need.
Well, Drake sloughing off a little defensively, didn't get the call. T.J. Welton late to get to his spot. Good recognition by Indiana State, swinging the ball to the open man. Kurt Kanaski not happy with the last couple of possessions, both offensively and defensively. Called that quick timeout. Does not want to allow this Indiana State team to creep back into this game now that lead down to 10. You know, a lot has been said about Drake's defense. It's defense really has been king, and they've had a hand up in the face, but the last couple possessions down for Indiana State, Drake just not able to find the position on the defensive end.
That's exactly what Kurt Kanaski's team was working on in the shoot-around this morning, was getting a hand up and challenging the shooters. They want Indiana State to shoot it from the outside, but they don't want it to be uncontested shots. McDonald against Howard, goes by him this time and banked it in. Tough move by Luke McDonald.
I'll tell you what, that is a nice move. Just got enough space that he could get by, and he just lowered his shoulder, took it the whole way, and that is a tough shot, floating left, throwing up that little right-hand kiss off the glass.
That's a matchup we'll keep our eye on all day. Marcus Howard, called by his coach, Royce Waltman, the best defender in the Valley. Luke McDonald, arguably the best offensive shooter in the Valley. Sams missed a 3 from the corner. McDonald rebound for Drake. Randolph on a bounce down low. And Andre Sola was trying to work his way in. He drew a foul. Let's take a look at that a moment ago, that move by McDonald.
Luke McDonald, we know he can shoot it from the outside. Look at a little ball hesitation fake. Got Howard just enough room, and that is a tough shot, falling down, throwing it up nice and soft off the glass. But the ability for Luke McDonald to put the ball on the floor is really going to increase his game this year, because when you're playing a guy that you know is a standstill shooter, you can get right up in his face. But if you know that he can have the ability to put the ball on the floor, you got to back off him a little bit, and that's going to really give Luke McDonald a double threat.
McDonald will get a rare rest. And Andre Sola, there you see the numbers. He's put up some very nice numbers for Drake so far. And coming back from that ankle injury, his first 2 points come at the free throw line.
Well, important right now for Indiana State to stay within striking distance of Drake. Don't want to allow Drake to get in a couple more buckets here. Increase that gap. Add it down to 10. Want to stay pretty close there. Be ready for the second half.
Avery inside with a hook shot. Drew the foul. He'll go for a three-point play. That really seems to be the strength of Indiana State. Conte and Avery on the post.
Much more poise offensively the last few possessions for Indiana State. A little more settled, I guess, on the offensive end. Good shots, good post up inside, and a nice job by Avery, just backing himself in, throws a little jump hook, and that's what Indiana State needs. But of course, the offense looks good when the ball goes in the basket as well.
Avery missed the free throw. Knight the rebound for Drake. It's a 12-point Drake lead. We're under a minute to play in the first half. McDonald was out for what, about 10 seconds?
If that.
One possession. Andre Sola pump fake. 15 on the shot clock as Lonnie Randolph goes to work.
Nobody inside right now for Drake. Got the floor spread out wide open in the paint.
Good defensive work right now by the Sycamores. Randolph on a crossover dribble. Andre Sola trying to create. Backs up, fires a three and buries it.
Andre Sola for three.
That's the fifth different Drake player to hit a three in the first half.
Tell you what, this sounds like an easy statement, but Drake's going to be a hard team to play if they're hitting shots from the outside, because they have so many different guys that not only can shoot it, but are more than willing to shoot it at the basket.
Shot clock is turned off. 8 seconds on the game clock as we approach halftime. Keelan block against McDonald. And a reach-in foul called. I think they got Luke McDonald for the foul. And it's not a shooting foul, just the 15th foul on Drake. So really not a bad foul, because now with 2.9 seconds to go, Indiana State has to bring it in bounds. Matt Perry comes back, a good three-point shooter for the Sycamores. Avery comes out. Broerman to trigger. Keelan blocks, slipped, got back up, and then lost it. Lonnie Randolph to steal, and we come to halftime, and it was a good first half for Drake. They put up 47 against one of the best defensive teams in the Missouri Valley Conference. And the Bulldogs lead it at halftime 47-32. Andre Sola, one of 5 Drake players to hit a three-pointer in the first half. Kurt Kanaski said they can shoot. They've proven it so far today. Bulldogs by 15.
Great coaches. Great players. Great finishes.
Schroeder to inbound. Throws it deep. It's caught. Dearman got it!
95 years strong. The Missouri Valley Conference.
ACC basketball. A dominant form. A superior game. After last season's run to the Final Four, the Terps have reloaded. All-American Lonnie Baxter and number 3 Maryland look to avoid the upset against the University of Detroit. ACC Sunday Night Hoops at 5:30 on Fox Sports Net. Basketball evolved to its highest state.
The Missouri Valley Game of the Week is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By the Prairie Farms family of dairies. Prairie Farms, Highlands, and Roberts Dairies, serving mid-America with quality, fresh dairy products every day. By Edward Jones, more than 130 years of experience helping individuals build financial security. And by Pepsi, the choice of the Missouri Valley Conference, the joy of Pepsi. We're at halftime with Drake leading Indiana State 47-32. Hi again, everybody. John Walters along with Chris Piper. And Chris, that first half, you know, Indiana State, a team that really prides itself on defense. And Drake put up a 47 spot on him in the first half.
They did. They were doing it inside and outside. Really great balance on the offensive end by Drake. They got the ball inside, established something there, kicking it back out for some shots there. Shot a great percentage. Indiana State on the other side could not hit a shot from the outside. Took a lot of shots out there. Now Royce Waltman decided he was going to go with 4 guards to try and make something happen offensively. Really hurt him. It really wasn't, I think, the decision to go with the 4 guards. But you got 4 guards on the floor and you're not hitting shots, you're going to be in trouble. Drake took advantage of it.
Well, and Drake had 5 different players at a three-pointer, and when you have that many weapons, it's pretty hard to guard.
Yeah, there was. And, you know, Indiana State on the defensive end just not doing the things defensively. They're face guarding Luke McDonald, and that's taken away the help. But at the same time, they've got to be able to find the defensive intensity, get back to Indiana State basketball.
So it's Drake at the half, leading it by 15. While the State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week is Southern Illinois' Kent Williams, a junior from Mount Vernon, Illinois. Williams averaged 22 points and 4 rebounds in victories over Illinois, Chicago, and 24th ranked Indiana. Williams had a team-high 22 points, including 17 in the second half, in a 72-60 win against the Hoosiers. Congratulations to Kent Williams, this week's State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week. We're at halftime. Drake leading Indiana State by 15. Back with more after these messages.
State Farm proudly presents the Just Read program.
State Farm is pleased to participate with the Missouri Valley Conference in helping our young people develop their reading skills. We're especially proud that many of our student athletes are joining us in this effort to help children realize reading is not only fun, but can be the key to their future success. State Farm is committed to improving the education of all our young people. We believe this partnership with the Missouri Valley Conference will help these children discover the joy of a lifetime of reading.
For the fourth consecutive year, the Missouri Valley Conference and State Farm Insurance have teamed up for the Just Read program. This community outreach effort has had a tremendous record of success. Missouri Valley Conference student athletes visit each month with grade school children, read stories, and emphasize the importance of reading in their lives.
Oh, cried the cats. We're being attacked by a giant Frankfurter. And they ran off screaming through the graveyard. I remember some of my favorite teachers, just them reading to me, and it's always a special time when you can listen to someone that you look up to.
The Just Read program benefits the kids, and it also benefits the student athletes.
I just finished my student teaching actually last Friday, so I'm used to being around all these little kids, and it's wonderful to come do things like this.
They're good readers, and they're nice. You won't be able to go to college if you can't read.
The Just Read program is proudly presented by State Farm and the Missouri Valley Conference.
It was our first house, and shortly before my parents' grand inspection, there was a tiny problem. I told my State Farm agent I had to get it fixed fast.
When you choose State Farm's Premier Service Claims Program, there's no calling around for estimates. You just go straight to a participating contractor and they'll guarantee their work.
So this is it?
It's just that simple.
Boy, they don't build them like this anymore. No, they don't.
Premier Service, just one more way. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And if you feel it in your toes, then you won't stop. And if it's deep in your soul, then you can't stop. And if you know what I know, then you won't stop. We're going way up, way up, way up, way up. Come on, come on, come on. We're going higher, baby. Come on, come on, come on. We're going way up. Come on, come on, come on. We're going way up. Stay up.
10 fine-tuned teams. 9 exciting games over 4 days to determine one champion and the league's automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament. Don't miss a minute of the greatest hoop action in the Midwest. It's the 2002 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. March 1st through the 4th at Savas Center in St. Louis, Missouri. For ticket information, visit the Missouri Valley Conference website at mvc.org or contact your favorite Valley School's athletic ticket office.
It's not just about planning. It's about living. It's about offices nearby, where long-term relationships outweigh short-term gains. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
This is Bill. Bill is installing a new belt on his car. The belt he purchased isn't exactly right, but it seemed like a bargain, and Bill's determined to get it on there. That one might be a little tight, Bill. Here's the deal. At Napa, we not only carry the right part, we've got the know-how to make sure that's what you leave the store with.
Today's Phillips 66 Missouri Valley Conference legend is Michael Menser of Indiana State. Menser ranks second on the Valley's all-time three-pointer list with 286. A three-time academic all-conference choice, Menser led the fifth-seeded Sycamores to a quarterfinal round victory against Southern Illinois in the Valley Tournament. Then in the semifinals, he lit up Creighton for a career-high 32. With 15 in the title game against Bradley, Menser earned Valley Tournament MVP honors. Indiana State's Michael Menser, today's Phillips 66 Missouri Valley Conference legend.
These are the sounds that we like to hear. The roar of the crowd, the action of the game, the support of our teammates.
We do not like
taunting,
swearing, questioning officials. Always be a good sport.
Respect the other team.
play fair and set a good example for me.
Always be a good sport. This message is brought to you by the Missouri Valley Conference.
Innovation in action. That's what you get with residue-proven soybeans from Asgrow. They're proven to perform in reduced tillage systems with strong early emergence, tough disease resistance, and higher yield potential. Unleash the most profitable soybean system on your acres. The economic benefits of reduced till and residue-proven varieties. Only from your Asgrow dealer. Ask for the yellow arrow and turn this discovery into your profit.
Backed by Roundup Rewards.
The action will be furious. 7 heart-pounding games over 3 days to determine one champion and the league's automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament. Don't miss a minute of action from life in the fast lane. It's the 2002 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. March 7th through the 9th at the Hammond Student Center in Springfield, Missouri. For ticket information, call the Southwest Missouri State Athletic Ticket Office at 417-836-7678.
Tough test awaits at the UC. Mercer provides the Bulls instant offense. Kidd sets the table for the net scorers. Bulls Nets, Tuesday at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
Big bass, whopper walleyes, monster muskies, super sturgeon. It's all part of each and every episode of the award-winning Fishing with Joe Booker, right here on this station.
Hawks Thrashers, Friday at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
Today's John Q. Hammond's Hotel's Millennium Moment showcases Drake ending a streak of futility on the road at Redbird Arena last February. The Bulldogs had lost 43 consecutive Road Valley games. Led by the talents of 2001 Valley Freshman of the Year Luke McDonald, Drake took a 4-point halftime lead. McDonald hit 4 trays en route to a game-high 31 points. Drake, which finished the season with its best conference win total since 1996, went on to upset the first-place Redbirds 81-78 for today's John Q. Hammond's Hotel's Millennium Moment. At the Knapp Center in Des Moines, Drake out to a 15-point halftime lead, their biggest of the game so far over Indiana State. Time now for the Pepsi first half stats, brought to you by Pepsi, the joy of cola. Look at those bottom 3 categories, Chris.
All Drake. You know, you look at the 3-point field goals, pretty much a match there, but it's the inside game for Drake, the dominance there. That allows him to get to the free throw line, 11 for 16, but the front court scoring 18-35. Drake has found a way to get it. Take a look, though, John, turnovers. 4 turnovers for Indiana State, only 1 turnover for Drake. That's unbelievable, and that tells me that Indiana State is not doing things on the defensive end that they need to. You can't have a half go by and allow a team to only have 1 turnover.
Well, the most points that Indiana State has given up all season is 71. They gave up 47 in the first half today.
Oh, you want this now, huh? Yeah. You want this? Go get it! It's got to be the dog chow. Purina knows there's no limit to what your dog can do. That's why Dog Chow is packed with everything he needs to build and rejuvenate strong muscles, so he can keep on amazing you day after day. Incredible dog food, incredible dogs. Purina Dog Chow brand.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Sierra Mist. One shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
At some point in the evening, you may discover when the wee hours actually begin. Explore St. Louis. There's more than meets the arch. Call 1-800-888-FUN-1.
Sometimes life's not fair, but you can make it equal with great taste and 0 calories. Sometimes life's not fair, but you can make it equal with great taste and 0 calories.
The Missouri Valley Game of the Week is brought to you by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. By John Q. Hammonds Hotels, the leading independent owner and manager of upscale hotels and meeting facilities. And by Ralston Purina Company of Checkerboard Square. The Missouri Valley Conference opener for Drake and Indiana State, and at halftime, the home team, the Bulldogs, up by 15. Let's take a look at the first half highlights, Chris.
Well, for Drake, the big men were doing it all, hitting it from the inside and from the outside. Danielson with a 3, had 13 first half points. And then look at Andre Sola, out a little, back through the legs, back up a little further. And a long-range 3, he was calling it before it even went through the net. You know, Indiana State finally got things going offensively late in the first half. A nice little pick opens up Marcus Howard for a 3 on the outside. Great ball movement, swinging it around. Howard, another 3. He ends up with 10 first half points. The only real highlight offensively for Indiana State in that first half was Marcus Howard.
Well, tonight on ACC Sunday Night Hoops, the Detroit Titans visit the Cole Fieldhouse to take on Juan Dixon and Lonnie Baxter in the third-ranked Maryland Terrapins. Coverage begins at 5:30 Central, right here on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive home for Sunday night ACC basketball.
You know, John, a name that we only called out, and I think it was within the first 30 seconds of the game, was Keelan Block. He hit that first 3 for Indiana State, never heard from him again. Look to see what Indiana State does on the offensive end. I would imagine they would be a little more patient and selective trying to get the ball inside against this Drake defense.
Well, just judging from the first 10 seconds they have, it looks like Indiana State may have come out here with a little more intensity on the defensive end.
Yeah, they're pushing out just a little further, aren't they, this time? And
McDonald tries a 3. It's off the lip of the rim, and the long rebound controlled by Marcus Howard. The trailer is blocked. He'll try the jumper. And he starts each half with a basket.
Well, transition basket there for Indiana State. It really was late in the transition, but that is the thing that they did not give up hardly anything of in the first half. Coach Kanaski for Drake said before the game that transition buckets was something they wanted to limit Indiana State from doing. If you're not a great shooting team, you try to get the transition buckets to help that percentage.
McDonald again. Couldn't get a shot off. Drake could not get comfortable with this lead. They were up 9 at the half at Hawaii. Lost that game by 11. Aaron Knight, 6 on the shot clock, fires a rainbow. And a foul on the rebound is called on Knight.
Well, totally different Indiana State team here in the second half than the first half. Much more active defensively, hands in the passing lane, hands in the shooter's faces, not allowing cuts. This is what Royce Waltman and Indiana State defense is all about. Much more active here, and you knew that. If you know anything about Royce Waltman, you knew they were going to come out and play in the second half.
No question. Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year in 2000. These teams are always well prepared. Jumper by Block. And Keelan Block is at 2 in a row to start the second half.
Yeah, well, that's what great seniors do. Your team's struggling, you step up and you start playing. 4.
And that lead down to 11 for Drake. Knight against Barry. Nowhere to go with it. Somehow got it to go and drew a foul. That was a circus shot by Aaron Knight.
Aaron Knight, but nice baseline move. Helped defense late coming over, but Knight just taking it the whole way. You see Avery stuck on the high side, actually didn't get down to the baseline and stop that penetration. You got 2 big men inside playing. You've got to have one of those guys come over there, get a foot on the baseline and stop that penetration.
Knight to the free throw line to try to complete a 3-point play. Couldn't do it, but got his own rebound.
I'll tell you what, he was running before the shot even left his hand. He knew it was off.
Back out to Newman, so Drake with an opportunity here for a 4 or 5-point possession. McDonald will try to make it 5. Couldn't do it. Avery the long rebound.
Maybe it's that end. There's something wrong with that rim or something. Neither team has been able to shoot down there so far.
Howard. And the long rebound to David Newman, who has a career high in rebounding. 8 so far in the game for Newman, the point guard for Drake.
Tough shot there for Howard. Really hadn't moved the defense at all. Didn't have their big men in an opportunity in a position to get an offensive board.
Andre Sola has a quickness advantage on Terrence Avery. McDonald off a Sola screen, fires a 3, in and out, and the rebound to Conte. Block has had the hot hand in the early moments of the second half for Indiana State.
Really important right now for Indiana State to make a move offensively against Drake. Drake has not found the range offensively, so Indiana State's got to make a move right now.
Keelan Block is trying to single-handedly get Indiana State back in this thing. He has all 3 of their field goals in the second half. And it's back to an 11-point lead.
Drake done a lot of standing and watching right now. First half, a lot of movement from the weak side, but a little flatter offensively here in the second half. Give credit to Indiana State's D.
McDonald working on Howard again. Drew a foul, a hand check on the perimeter.
Marcus Howard picks up the foul for Indiana State. That's his
second foul for Howard. McDonald looking to shoot it a little bit more, it seems, here in this second half. He'll take a 3. And Avery, another rebound for Indiana State. He's approaching double figures on the boards.
Luke McDonald missed the last 4 shots and the last 4 possessions for Drake.
Howard on a drive. And it's a different Indiana State team here in the second half.
Well, they're taking it at Drake on the offensive end as well. You know, one of the things you've got to do against Drake, you got to make them play defense. Drake's not a team that's going to play a lot of defense on you. You've got to make them come up and step up and try and guard you. Avery long threes early is going to take them off the hook.
Well, it's the first time the lead's been under 10 since the 9:21 mark of the first half. So Indiana State clawing back into it. They've allowed Drake just 1 field goal here in the second half, and they have 4 of their own at the other end. McDonald on a drive, past the freshman, and he missed again, but Danielson rebounds. Good kick out to Newman. A couple of former high school teammates, Danielson and Newman. Long 3, Andre Sola got it. Well, that has to be frustrating.
You know, Andre asked the defense to come out on him. He just kind of gave him a little ball fake look at him, said, "You're going to give it to me?" And Indiana State didn't go out and step out on him. He just went ahead and shot it.
Tough shot off the glass and in. Will it count? No. Offensive foul called on Lamar Grimes.
Watch Andre Sola, that last possession. He's going to catch it. He's going to call the defense out. Asking Conte, going to come guard me? Conte says no. Sola says, should have.
14 fouls.
And back up to a 12-point lead for Drake. An illegal screen called on the Bulldogs. Greg Danielson picks up the foul. That's going to be his 3rd. Timeout on the floor. Drake's lead is 12 with 15:49 to go.
It isn't easy being the Empire Carpet Man. Folks are thrilled about our shop-at-home service and next-day installation. They're crazy about saving 50% with no payments till January 2003. But what's really driving them wild is this: an Empire Carpet Man to call your very own.
He's mine! No, he's mine!
Order now and get yours.
588-2300 Empire!
Richard Hunquist talks about why advertising with AT&T Media Services works.
We've advertised on cable for several years now, and as a result have seen a steady increase in our sales. It's important to make your commercial unique, right, Amos? He's the one that gets the fan mail.
Advertise your business on cable TV with AT&T Media Services. We deliver Chicago.
Let's check the Missouri Valley scores from around the league, brought to you by National Car Rental. Tough night for Evansville against a very good Butler team. Illinois State picks up a win, and Southern Illinois wins on the road. Tulsa knocks off Wichita, and SMS falls in overtime. Northern Iowa wins the conference opener over Bradley. Creighton falls to BYU. And today, Illinois State out to an early lead on women's score. Missouri leading Northern Iowa early on. Here it's Drake by 12 with 15:49 to go. Tough shot, Marcus Howard. Rebound, Jabril Conte, and he missed it. And that's a backbreaker if you're Royce Walton.
Well, Conte wanted to dunk it. Decided when he was up he couldn't dunk it, and by then it's too late to make that transition. Nice board, though. But you're exactly right. That's one you got to have. You need all the points you can get right now, especially when you get a one-footer.
Indiana State had hit 4 or 5 from the floor to start the half, but then a couple of misses there. And now with 10 to shoot it, David Newman has the ball for Drake. Newman, one-on-one. Jumper over Berry. Tough shot, missing. And the rebound to Berry. Marcus Howard, the sophomore point guard. Conte tipped it out off the hand of Andre Solo that belonged to Indiana State.
Nice job by Conte inside to keep the ball alive. Marcus Howard, 2 possessions now. 2 tough shots, not really set in there, falling down. Indiana State's got to look for a little higher percentage look.
Down low, block on the block. Missed it. Rebound, Andre Solo. Now, this Indiana State team has had a great 2-year run, making the NCAA tournament twice. First time back-to-back appearances in the NCAAs for this team. Won the conference championship, then the conference tournament championship last year. But it cannot be overstated. The loss of Menser and Wren, 2 of the best players in the Valley, have really hurt this Indiana State team. Block, trying to take charge. 9 second-half points for Keelan
He was
Block.
wide open off the pick by Conte. Conte, you saw him going down on the ground and taking Keelan Block's player out of the play. You're exactly right, John. You know, the biggest thing, let's forget about points and assists and everything else. Mincer was a leader. He led this team on the floor, and that's what this Indiana State team's got to do. They got to find somebody that does it right every time for him.
And there's Michael Menser doing the radio color right now.
Nice pass over. You see the pick over there by Conte to the left. Allowed Keelan Block to get wide open. Had a nice look, able to get his feet set. Think about it for a second or two and hit that shot. They really need Keelan Block. The senior, he's been in this program all throughout. Knows what he's supposed to do.
This is Berry to the baseline. Bad trouble with it. 9 second-half points for Keelan Block. He's 4-5 from the floor in this half. Hey, there's a steal for Aaron Knight of Drake. Newman on a push. Deflected nicely by Terrence Avery, who hustled to get back. Hard to run against Indiana State. Offensive foul called on Howard. David Newman took the charge. That's the 3rd foul for Howard.
You know, Marcus Howard's got to realize what the defense is doing, and David Newman just planning himself, waiting for him to come in there and make that move. They're allowing right now Marcus Howard the shot from the outside. He's going to have to recognize that, realize the defense is playing soft and there's really no room for the penetration.
That's probably the conversation going on right there. Royce Walton talks it over with Marcus Howard. Checks out with 3 fouls. Drake, a 9-point lead, but the Bulldogs have struggled on this end of the second half. Oh, McDonald almost got the circus shot to fall. He was fouled on the way in. Take a look at the first step of Luke McDonald. Maybe underestimated it.
He's able to find seams in the defense, you know, and also Drake setting picks up top for him allows him to find a way through there. But one of the things that Luke McDonald, he's sneaky quick. He's able to find seams in the defense and just get enough of an advantage to get him on your hip, and then he's going to be able to get to the basket.
Lamar Grimes is just fouled out of the game. The freshman from Chicago, struggling to guard Luke McDonald, fouls out. So it was a quick breather. And actually, they won't bring Marcus Howard back in. They'll bring in Batiste Haywood, another guard, 6'2" junior out of Hammond, Indiana. And McDonald at the free throw line for Drake. Luke McDonald now with 11. So Keelan Block will bring the ball up the floor right now for the Sycamores. Takes over the point guard duties. And this is Haywood with it. It's just a young Indiana State team, and I think as the season wears on, they're going to get better and better. Growerman, a threat from out there. It's probably about the only place he's a threat from, the three-point line. This is Berry firing. And the weak side rebound to Lonnie Randolph, and now Drake looking to run. Randolph goes by Haywood with a nice quick first step and draws a foul. And that's the 7th team foul on Indiana State already here in the second half, so Drake's shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Indiana State's really going to start finding themselves in a lot of foul trouble, and they do not have a deep bench. When they're coming into this game, they're playing 8 guys at the most. They're going to have to start asking some guys that haven't been out on the floor to step up.
Well, Drake getting to the free throw line much more frequently than Indiana State, but that's not a coincidence. Drake is putting more pressure on the basket and creating that opportunity.
Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to figure out if you're going to stand around the outside perimeter and shoot threes, you're not going to get foul shot opportunities, whereas Drake, when they're taking the ball inside, obviously they're going to get to the free throw line.
Randolph hit them both. Freshman Lonnie Randolph was recruited by several Big Ten schools to play football. Doesn't have a big frame. Very quick, good athlete. Decided to come to Drake and play basketball. He was an early commitment, and Kirk Kanaski was thrilled to get that signature. Keelan Block, his team trailing by 13. Haywood explodes to the hoop, and an offensive foul to call. J.J. Sola took the charge.
Haywood not shy, coming right down the middle of the lane. Look at J.J. Sola. He just comes over, plants himself, and nice job coming from the weak side, and he was there for a long time. That play was a slow happener, and Matisse Haywood, the young kids, he's got to understand, coming through the lane, you're going to have to look up and see what's going on, maybe pull up with a little jumper.
Such an adjustment, Chris, in any conference between non-conference play and conference play, and these young guys will have to learn that on the fly. This is Keelan Block on a drive. Tough shot. Rebound, Luke McDonald. So Drake has that lead back up to 13. J.J. Sola trying to add to it. Kicks it out to Andre Sola for 3. His 3rd of the game.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world, John, but if I'm playing Andre Sola, I'm going to be right in his face because he can't really put the ball on the floor, but he can sure shoot it from deep.
It's the biggest lead of the game for Drake at 16. Indiana State had whittled it down here in the second half from 15 down at the half. They got it down to 9. But Drake has opened it back up again. Growerman tries a 3. Long rebound to Berry. And now Block for 3.
Indiana State's going to have to hit the three-point shot because Drake is sagging inside so much. There's no opportunity to the slash to the basket. You're not going to be able to dribble penetrate all the way to the basket. You're going to have to get something going outside.
Just 6 3-pointers coming into today for Block, but he's hit 3 in this one. Down low, Sola, left hand again. A dozen points now for J.J. Sola. And it's the inability of Indiana State to stop Drake on the defensive end of the floor that has been the big problem. Drake continues to score. Keelan Block fires again. Long rebound to Luke McDonald.
You know, the problem with that shot, Keelan Block, not a bad shot, but you got Conte standing on the perimeter watching the rebound process go on. You got your big man on the floor. He better find a way to get to the glass.
Baseline drive, Andre Sola.
Thank you.
And he drew a foul. Avery gets his 4th foul. So the bad news keeps getting worse for Indiana State. Avery now with 4 fouls. They've already lost Grimes.
Well, Terrence Avery was so non-committal on that play that time, John. You know, Andre Sola puts the ball on the floor at the three-point line, and he's not real fast. It looked like he was in a little bit of mud there for a second. So Terrence Avery had plenty of time to come over, but he was so non-committal because he was in foul trouble. He didn't want to put himself in a position to foul, and what he did by being non-committal, he ends up getting a foul. He just got to get over there and get in the play.
Marcus Howard checks back in for Indiana State. Aaron Knight back in for Drake. Drake has had nice balance in this game. 13 from Danielson, 11 from Luke McDonald, 12 from J.J. Sola, 12 from Andre Sola. Andre Sola, a transfer from George Washington, had a nice rookie campaign with Drake last year. He's on the Missouri Valley Conference all-newcomer team. And it's Drake behind the Solas, opening up a 7-point lead midway through the second half.
You know, we could have spent every dime we have in expensive special effects in our Prairie Farms ice cream commercials. But instead, we decided to put our money where your mouth is. Taste the homemade goodness of Prairie Farms.
If you enjoy Branson's world-class entertainment, then you'll love Branson's world-class resort, Chateau on the Lake. On a majestic mountaintop overlooking Table Rock Lake, you'll find a grand hotel in the European tradition. The service is impeccable. The surroundings elegant. It's pure luxury all the way. It's what you deserve. Come experience Chateau on the Lake, Branson's only world-class resort. Call 1-888-333-LAKE for reservations.
You got wheels? You need a State Farm agent.
Guess what? I got one.
Yeah, I got one.
Whoa!
You know I got one. Doc's getting one too.
Check it out. This dude rocks.
A State Farm agent. You need one.
Now insurance is smooth and simple.
My State Farm agent showed me all about insurance.
I showed mine how to fly.
Find a State Farm agent at statefarm.com.
You know, we could have spent an absolute fortune to get a big-name celebrity in our Prairie Farms ice cream commercials. But instead, we decided to put our money where your mouth is. Quality you can taste from Prairie Farms.
10:22 to go, and Drake, against an ice-cold Indiana State team, has opened up a 17-point lead. Tonight on ACC's Sunday Night Hoops, the Detroit Titans visit the Cole Fieldhouse to take on Juan Dixon, Lonnie Baxter, and the third-ranked Maryland Terrapins. Coverage begins at 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, right here on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive home for Sunday night ACC basketball. Watched that Duke-Clemson game last week, and that was a good one.
I'll tell you what, Duke, is it unbelievable? Just reload every year.
Yep.
They're so intense on the defensive end. If you want to learn how to play defense with intensity, watch Duke.
They do appear to be head and shoulders above everybody else in the country right now.
A lot more intensity on the part of Indiana State here in the second half, and a big shot there by Broerman. That's what Indiana State needs. They have to have other guys step up, hit that outside shot, and then try and buckle down defensively. They forced 7 turnovers here in the second half on Drake.
Broerman, coming into this game, 178 career shot attempts, 159 of them from three-point range. Speaking of threes, Andre Sola's got it stuck on automatic. 16 for Sola coming off that ankle injury. He has looked sharp. Down low, Conte. Just the first field goal of the game for Jabril Conte, coming off a career-high 19 against Murray State.
Just hadn't had any looks. Drake has done a pretty nice job of keeping the ball out of his hands.
Lead back to 15. Down low, they knocked it away. Conte comes up with a steal. Not too late for the Sycamores to make a run. 9:15 to go. Keelan Block drew the contact, got the bucket. He'll go for a three-point play. And Block has really come to play here in the second half.
Nice little hesitation here by Keelan Block. Pulls it up, takes it into the lane. Drake late coming down for the defense, but explosive step there by Keelan Block. All I needed was just a little hesitation on the side. Watch it, just a little stop, stutter, and just blew right on past Drake for the easy 2. And a chance for 3. Not that easy, actually, a little faller.
Keelan Block has 15 of his 20 points here in the second half. And he has Indiana State back within a dozen. Backdoor cut, Aaron Knight. Tough shot off the glass, and the rebound controlled by Conte. Drake was working on that in practice the other day. The high post, backdoor cut. There's a jumper from the wing, and Block has got it stuck on automatic for Indiana State. A timeout for the Bulldogs. 18 second half points for Keelan Block, 23 in the game. And just like that, the Sycamores cut the lead to 9. It's a full timeout. So we will take a break too. But Drake's lead, which was 15 at the half, is down to 9 thanks to Keelan Block and his 18 second half points.
St.
Louis, get ready for the 2002 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship first and second rounds hosted by the Missouri Valley Conference. The intense action takes place March 14th and 16th at the Transworld Dome in St. Louis. To net your tickets, call 314-342-5000. That's 314-342-5000 or log on to final4.net.
The Missouri Valley Conference celebrates athletic excellence, bringing you non-stop red-hot collegiate basketball. There's another team in town that we're privileged to support, the Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. The Cancer Center provides state-of-the-art technology, a child-friendly environment, and compassionate care to children who are diagnosed with cancer and other blood disorders. The Missouri Valley Conference and the Bob Costas Cancer Center. We're here for the kids. Give us a hand.
It's not just about saving money. It's about spending time, just dropping by and creating bonds rather than simply buying them. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
Drake led by 15 at the half, but now the lead is down to 9 with 8:42 to go. Royce Waltman still working hard. Missouri Valley Conference fans, remember, next time you travel, stay at Drury Inn Hotel. There's more than 100 Drury Inn hotels in 16 states across the U.S. Call 1-800-325-0096 and ask for the special Missouri Valley Conference rate. Drury Inn, the official hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference. All right, Drake has a 9-point advantage right now, looking to add to it. Luke McDonald had it stripped momentarily by Howard.
7 on the shot clock.
Howard and McDonald on a drive, banked it in.
Oh, tough shot. Great defense by Marcus Howard, but how about that shot by Luke McDonald? A little finger roll from about 8 feet out off the glass.
13 in the game for McDonald, and the nice thing, Chris, is he hasn't forced anything.
Well, he started out the second half 0 for 5, and then he kind of backed down, let the other guys step up.
Avery lost it out of bounds. Drake takes over. Timeout on the floor, but Luke McDonald, last year's Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year, going against a great defender in Marcus Howard, has Drake up by 11.
Richard Hunquist talks about why advertising with AT&T Media Services works.
We've advertised on cable for several years now, and as a result have seen a steady increase in our sales. It's important to make your commercial unique, right, Amos? He's the one that gets the fan mail.
Advertise your business on cable TV with AT&T Media Services. We deliver Chicago.
Folks I work with at Speed Vision care absolutely about racing.
There are so many people with a passion that burns so deeply for motorsports.
We put the racing first. It is the Enthusiast Network.
Speed Vision, brought to you locally by Woodstock Harley-Davidson. Woodstock Harley-Davidson, the Midwest's largest selection of motorcycles, collectibles, and accessories, located on Route 47 in Woodstock.
Under 8 minutes to go now, and Drake leads by 11. There's Drake women's coach Lisa Stone along with her assistant Barb Franke. And they will be in Springfield, Missouri. You should too, for the 2002 State Farm Missouri Valley Women's Basketball Tournament, March 7th through 9th. Hoops in the Heartland from the Hammond Student Center, the 2002 State Farm Missouri Valley Women's Basketball Tournament. Don't miss a minute. And the whole team on hand, in fact. There's Carla Bennett. Those top players in the Valley, and they were the conference champs a year ago. Backdoor cut. David Newman got the layup from his old high school teammate, Danielson.
Oh, a nice play coming out of the timeout there. Brought the whole Drake offense up high. Opened up that backdoor cut by Newman. Really a nice look by Danielson. Haven't heard much from Danielson here in the second half offensively, but a nice pass there with the easy two.
Mentioned it earlier, something Drake really worked on in practice, that high post offense, throwing a backdoor cut to a guard. There's a throwaway. Knight comes up with a loose ball, and Drake has the numbers. Aaron Knight to Andre Sola for the finish.
Great transition bucket there by Drake. I'll tell you what, Matt Berry's confidence just been shattered in the first half. He just missed every shot he looked at, and here in the second half, he's been so hesitant with the ball.
18 now for Andre Sola. Conte will try a three. Long rebound, tracked down by Andre Sola. He'll go to the baseline. And then he tracks down the loose ball, backs up, and fires a three. The rebound to Conte.
He was telling everybody, patience, patience, allow me to get back here to shoot, and shot it.
Well, Block just makes one in from the side. You think he's got it going a little bit? 26 in the game for Keelan Block. I was wrong on that. Okay, it was Barry that banked it in. Okay.
He had to use the glass to get him off that snide he was working there. He shooting it straight in wasn't working for him. Use the glass a little bit.
Down low, Danielson. So Barry, who's been the best three-point shooter this season for Indiana State, but really struggled today, hits the three, and now Danielson matches him at the other end. Second three of the game for Greg Danielson. And this is the most points that Indiana State's given up all year. Long jumper, Haywood. Batiste Haywood hit a three.
Well, Andre Sola was telling me he had the shot if he wanted it to, and obviously Drake had decided that Haywood could have the shot.
Well, the 12 three-point baskets by Indiana State are the most by any Missouri Valley Conference team this year, but Drake has 11 of them in this game, and they've been able to match Indiana State. Point lead for the Bulldogs, 5:35 to go in what has been a high-scoring game by conference standards. You usually don't expect games in the 80s and 90s, but we could be headed there. Danielson to Andre Sola. J.J. Sola on the follow. Indiana State just not able to stop Drake at that end. Keelan Block gets it back, fires another three. And Newman another rebound. He adds to his career high. David Newman trying to get somewhere with a dribble, couldn't do it. Now McDonald working on Howard, fires a three. Long rebound, controlled by Andre Sola, but he couldn't save it. It was deflected, though, by Indiana State. They'll say it's Drake's ball.
Now, Coach Kanaski for Drake telling Luke McDonald, we don't really need that right now. Got a nice lead, 14 points. Let's try to milk the clock a little bit, but still look for the shot, but a little more selective about it.
Luke McDonald considered transferring from Drake during the summer. Decided to come back. David Newman hits a three. But you can bet there was a real sigh of relief from Coach Kanaski when Luke McDonald said, yes, I'll come back to Drake.
Well, no question about it. He's got some offense. There's a nice little kick out there by Danielson, and Newman wide open, freezes the defense with a look to the side. He can hit the shot, but right now, Kirk Kanaski fired up, telling these guys, you know, we got a chance here. We're up by 17. Let's buckle down, do the things we have to. You just can't start allowing Indiana State to have any look at the basket that they want.
80-63 the score. This is easily the most points that Indiana State has given up all season. We're talking to Coach Kanaski about Luke McDonald and that decision to come back. He said it was harder to recruit him the second time than it was the first time. Harder to keep him than it was to get him to begin with.
They came up here out of Lubbock, Texas. There's a few schools down in Texas, so that's a big pull for Drake to get him out of there.
McDonald was homeschooled until his junior year in high school, so not a lot of people knew about him. He had a terrific senior year at Friendship High School down there near Lubbock. And a real steal for Kurt Kanaski, the Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year.
Well, he can play. I love his tenacity as well. He's just great attitude on the floor.
A good effort there by Danielson on the defensive end to come up with the steal. And now Drake trying to add to a 17-point lead. Down low, Danielson. Greg Danielson kicks it out to J.J. Sola, and the shot clock to 12. Newman takes over. Drake running some clock. We get under the 4-minute mark remaining in the game. Down to 3. J.J. Sola will have to fire. Off balance. Rebound McDonald. So Drake can reset.
I think J.J. Sola forgot about the shot clock there for a second until the crowd started yelling at him.
Here's Andre Sola to J.J. Sola. It's the Sola system for Drake. J.J. Sola will go to the free throw line.
Nice little look over the top by Andre Sola. You know, one of the first things that J.J. Sola does generally when he catches the ball, he puts it down on the floor, and then he decides what he's going to do, and he took it right at Conte.
Put it on the floor first, make your decision later.
Right. Figure out what you're going to do after the fact.
Shoot first, ask questions later, right? You know, this is J.J. Sola, has 14 points in the game. One of the top newcomers in the Valley. It's Kurt Kanaski. He's happy with his team. He played its first 4 games away from the Knapp Center. Came home and won their home opener the other night. Timeout on the floor. J.J. Sola now with 15, and Drake's lead is 18 with 3:28 to go.
The search for the future is not difficult. It's right at hand, if you know where to look. At Phillips Petroleum Company, we see the promise of tomorrow. That's why we are so committed to producing better products that give us cleaner air and a cleaner earth. It's just good business. Something to think about the next time you need fuel.
Proof again that Phillips 66 is the performance company.
It's not where you come from. It's where you're going. It's not what you drive. It's what drives you. It's not what's on you. It's what's in you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
ACC basketball. A dominant form. A superior game. After last season's run to the Final Four, the Terps have reloaded. All-American Lonnie Baxter and number 3 Maryland look to avoid the upset against the University of Detroit. ACC Sunday Night Hoops at 5:30 on Fox Sports Net. Basketball evolved to its highest state.
Here's the game reset brought to you by Ralston Purina of Checkerboard Square. You can see Drake with an 18-point lead. Fouls. Drake still has plenty to give. 3:28 to play. It's been all Bulldogs this afternoon. Pretty strong statement by Drake in their conference opener.
Other than about the first 5 minutes of here in the second half, it has been all Drake. Indiana State able to come out of that halftime and make a little move, but Drake has counted on the offensive end.
Long jumper by Howard wouldn't go, but the rebound to Haywood, and he puts it in.
How about Batiste Haywood just sneaking in there? Sola didn't even see him. And down with the ball a little lackadaisically, and he got it stripped.
Haywood hasn't played a lot, but when Grimes fouled out early in this one, he got his opportunity. He's made the most of it with 5 points. McDonald puts it on the floor, gets rid of it tonight. Indiana State, a man-to-man team. You're not going to see any junk zones out of Royce Walton. Shot clock at 5. Randolph on a crossover dribble. Spins in. Denied by Jabril Conte. Kurt Kanaski wanted a goaltend. Jumper Howard from the free throw line. saved by Randolph.
Indiana State just cannot get the ball to fall in the hoop. I mean, that has been the story.
Haywood fouls Randolph. It's going to be 2 free throws all the way the rest of the way for Drake because of those 10-team fouls on Indiana State.
Conte with the big block. Coach Kanaski for Drake claiming it was goaltending, but nice job by Conte to come in there.
Lonnie Randolph, an interesting player for Drake, just a freshman out of Merrillville, Indiana. Averages 21 minutes a game, so he sees a lot of time in that backup role behind David Newman. Actually plays more minutes a game than Newman.
Watch this block by Conte, just coming from the weak side, waits for that ball to go up in the air, and it really just got served up to him, but that ball's still going up. Nice block, a nice no call. Conte really has not been much of a factor here this afternoon, coming off that 19 points against Murray State. He's really been held in check by Drake inside.
Conte, one of the best shot blockers in Indiana State history. Quickly to the hoop, Perry. Conte the rebound, and he drew a foul. So continuing to work hard, Jabril Conte in the paint.
Well, long season left. You know, a lot of games left to go. Indiana State obviously still trying to find the recipe on the offensive end, although they've got 65 points and they came in the game averaging 58. But I think shot selection early really hurt Indiana State. A lot of shots from the outside, didn't try and establish anything on the inside. You know, even when you got 4 guards on the floor, you can still try to make cuts, get jumpers in the lane or layup opportunities, and they were letting Drake off the hook too early with that long 3.
And that's something Drake was going to give him anyway, so that can always be there with the shot clock winding down if you need it. Andre Sola is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. So if Indiana State is going to foul the rest of the way, it's going to drag this last minute 50 out quite a bit.
21, let's go.
Well, Royce Waltman understands. He's been around long enough to know what's going on here. He's got a young basketball team, and they'll just gradually improve as the season goes on. We'll see him again next week against Creighton.
That won't be an easy game going into Omaha. Creighton always tough and always tough at home.
That beat Western Kentucky earlier this year at home in double overtime.
Boy, Dana Altman's done a tremendous job up there. I mean, he is a great coach, but you can really say that about every school in the Missouri Valley. You look at the league, and coming in from other leagues as well, coaches talk about the quality of the coaching in the Missouri Valley.
Well, we've heard Mitch Holtis talk about it many times, that this is a coach's league, and he's right. There's terrific coaching in this basketball conference. Conte on the tip in, and he also drew a foul, and that was a pretty acrobatic play by Jabril Conte. He was actually facing the other way as he tipped it in. Just his second field goal.
Watch him battling inside, just pushing and shoving, trying to get somebody off. Has a Berry with the catch of the air ball, and Conte pushing with the left arm.
Just kind of
reaching with the right. That's right. A little swat.
14-point game pressure from Indiana State. Minute 30 to go. Randolph gets it across. Well, Drake has a couple tough games coming up. They play at Iowa on Wednesday night. Randolph had his strips, got it back, and got a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, I believe, for Kurt Kanaski. Well, time now for the Rawlings play of the game, and Luke McDonald of Drake picking his spots. When Drake has needed a basket most, it's been McDonald that's been able to knock him down, and he gets our Rawlings play of the game.
Just calling for the ball. 2 picks that were set for him just up high, and he gets the 3. You know, it's tough to play defense against Luke McDonald the whole game because you're going to have to run off of picks, and he's so smart in utilizing them as well. Just get beat up the whole afternoon.
And if you're Drake coach Kurt Kanaski, you're thinking, okay, McDonald has 13, but we've gotten 70 out of our other guys. So pretty good balance for Drake. It's not just the Luke McDonald show.
Got to be real happy about that. You got to be happy about Luke McDonald as well. Took 5 shots coming out of the second half, trying to get himself going, then realized that wasn't going to happen, and he took the back seat.
Andre Sola on a drive. Got it with the left hand. 21 points now for Andre Sola. And Drake continues to light up the scoreboard at the Knapp Center. Batiste Haywood threw it away. Now Knight the other way with it for Drake. And Indiana State will stop fouling at this point. And the crowd appreciating the efforts of Drake. Bulldogs shot it well, rebounded well, as they've done all season. Pretty complete effort from the Bulldogs this afternoon, and they're going to improve their record to 4-2 overall and 1-0 in the Valley. David Newman cut off on the dribble. 6 to shoot. This is McDonald, blocked by Howard. It's 20 seconds to go. 16-point game. Marcus Howard the other way. They give him a red carpet to the basket. 14 from Marcus Howard. And Drake can just dribble out the clock now. 85-71, Drake knocks off Indiana State at the Knapp Center. The Bulldogs get it done on the offensive end of the floor in particular. 47-point first half. They match that with 38 in the second and win it 85-71. Luke McDonald had 13. The leader, Andre Sola, with 21. And the Bulldogs pull off a 14-point victory over the defending Missouri Valley Conference Tournament champions. Back in a moment.
I'm the State Farm agent here in Montpelier. For a one-stoplight town, we do get our share of accidents. When somebody has an accident, it's unsettling enough. The last thing they want to deal with is calling 1-800 and put in your 12-digit number. That's not very personal.
Over 16,000 State Farm agents.
Our rates for car insurance are very competitive.
It's no accident. They insure more cars than anyone else.
This is my town. Hi, Jasmine.
How you doing? How you doing?
Hello.
These guys took care of that thing, right?
Hey, Mikey, we take care of that thing? Hey, Nicky, you took care of that thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Come on, please. Hey, did you take care of that thing yet?
Yeah?
You took care of that thing, right?
Hold on. Yeah, steer there? Yeah. You took care of that thing, right?
Jerry? Jerry?
Drake had 4 players in double figures, led by Andre Sola with 21, and the Bulldogs knock off Indiana State 85-71. Let's go to Chris Piper.
John, I'm here with Coach Kanaski. Coach, you said your team could score 85 points against Indiana State. Pretty good.
We're really pleased because they play such terrific defense. They do a great job. We're really excited about how we played the first half. Disappointed how we finished the game, but are pleased with the win.
You know, 85 points, and you look down the line, Luke McDonald, under 20 points. I'm not sure, 11, 13 points, somewhere in that range, but a lot of other guys stepped up. Shows that this team's got some other players.
We got a lot of guys that can shoot. We really take pride in shooting. I'm not so sure we take the same pride in defense and rebounding, especially in the last couple minutes tonight, but we're a good shooting team and feel fortunate to win.
What about the defensive end? You know, they went with a smaller lineup, but you guys really handled them inside as well.
Well, we were concerned because we had not prepared for that lineup, but we wanted to take advantage of get the ball in the post against their smaller guys. I thought we did that the first half. We're just fortunate. The ball went in for us tonight.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, John.
Thank you, Chris, and thanks to Coach Kurt Kanaski. His team an 85-71 winner over Indiana State. We'll be right back.
Sometimes life's not fair, but you can make it equal with great taste and 0 calories. Sometimes life's not fair, but you can make it equal with great taste and 0 calories.
It's not just about planning. It's about living. It's about offices nearby, where long-term relationships outweigh short-term gains. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
85-71 the final. The Drake Bulldogs knock off Indiana State at the Knapp Center. And Drake wins its Missouri Valley Conference opener. Our player of the game for Drake, Andre Sola, who came off the bench, Chris, to score 21 points.
I'll tell you what, a lot of excitement. The shots that he was getting out there, he was calling them good most of the time before they even hit the basket. Put the ball on the floor, take a little drive. But he had a nice game coming off that ankle injury where he missed the Arkansas Pine Bluff game.
16 of his 21 points in the second half. He had 4 3-pointers in the game. So Andre Sola, the player of the game for Drake. And for Indiana State, Keelan Block.
Well, what a second half for Keelan Block. Hit the first shot of the game, a 3, and that was his only points in the first half. Second half, he really lit it up, started taking it upon himself to take shots, try and get this Indiana State team back in. Really did it all over the floor, driving to the basket, shooting the 3 from the outside. A great second half by Keelan Block. Just not enough to overcome Drake's offense.
18 second half points for Keelan Block. He finished the game with 23 to lead the Sycamores, but it wasn't enough as Drake wins it 85-71. So we'll take another break and be back to wrap things up from the Knapp Center, where the Bulldogs win the conference opener for both teams by a 14-point margin.
Come on, Joey, let's have some of Grandma's old recipe ice cream.
Wow, it sure looks good.
It is, Joey. There's a whole world of wonderful flavors in her old recipe ice cream. It starts with fresh cream and cane sugar, then in go all kinds of other great tasting treats.
Gosh, did Grandma make it herself?
Of course not, Joey. She goes to the store and buys it like everybody else.
Taste the premium quality of old recipe ice cream from Prairie Farms.
If you enjoy Branson's world-class entertainment, then you'll love Branson's world-class resort, Chateau on the Lake. On a majestic mountaintop overlooking Table Rock Lake, you'll find a grand hotel in the European tradition. The service is impeccable. The surroundings elegant. It's pure luxury all the way. It's what you deserve. Come experience Chateau on the Lake, Branson's only world-class resort. Call 1-888-333-LAKE for reservations.
Drake the winner over Indiana State, 85-71 the final. 23 made 3-pointers in this game, 12 by Indiana State, 11 by Drake. With the difference, Drake 20 of 29 at the free throw line, Indiana State 7 of 11. Drake able to get it done, Chris, inside and out.
Yeah, Drake, great offensive balance. You look down the score sheet here, Sola with 14, Danielson was 16. You know,